Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and this time we are going to do a Helldivers 2 Warbond tier list. That is right. We are going to put the Warbonds we have in Helldivers, the free one and the paid ones, all the Warbonds we had until the Urban Legends Warbond that came out with the Omens of Tyranny update. So we're going to put all that into a tier list so that maybe new players playing Helldivers for the first time can kind of like prioritize which warbonds to purchase over others. So it kind of like helps in that manner. And yeah, this is going to be heavily, based on like what I feel like I find useful depending on my playstyle. So this can differ from person to person. Certain stuff in a warbond might feel good to you over others. So this can differ heavily, right? So yeah, I mean, like, let's just dive right into it, right? So we've got all 10 war bonds we've had in Helldivers since last year, ever since it was released. So we have all the war bonds from Helldivers Mobilize, which is the very first free war bond that we get in the game, all the way up to Urban Legends, which is the last paid war bond. So the tiers we have is Democracy Approved, which is S tier, which is like A tier, right? Which is good, but might be lacking a little bit something which makes it A tier, which makes it S tier. It's all right, which is like B tier, somewhere in between. Fun, but like a C tier, which is like it could be fun to use, but still we don't really need it. And shit is like we don't even need to look at it, right? I don't think there really is a shit. Maybe there could be, but it depends. We'll see. All right. So the first one is we're going to take a look at the Helldivers Mobilize Warbond, which is the free warbond we get, and this is immediately, without a doubt, this is an A tier, right? Hmm. Right. Because one, it's free. Is it super broken? No, not really. But it has 10 pages, right? This gives you the most. This is the most Warbond has to offer. It gives you access to the basic set of armor, all the base forms of all the weapons, right? The sniper rifles, the machine pistol, the SG8 Punisher shotgun, which is the stagger shotgun, the impact grenade, a couple of the breaker shotgun, the Liberator Penetrator assault rifle, which got some buffs with the latest buffs, and a bunch of boosters, of a variant of the SG shotgun as well, which fires slug rounds, a variant of the break as well with a spray and pray with more ammo capacity, a scorcher. So, and finally the increased reinforcement budget, which is a really good all-round booster, useful in certain missions if you feel like you and your teammates are having a tough time. So you can increase your reinforcements, and gives you, at the very last page, gives you the Champion of the People armor, which gives you the Democracy Protects a passive, which has a 50% chance like not to die when you take lethal damage and prevents all bleeding, which is a very nice all-round armor. You get a couple of other stuff, combat technician armor, which kind of like which increases your stealth. Trailblazer Scout, which also, which is a light armor form of the combat technician. So you get a bunch of it, right? There's a whole lot in here. So this is immediately A tier. It's quite useful and it's free. So you don't need to spend any money. You can just get started with this and then work your way through there, right? So nothing much to say there. So it's quite useful. It's not like super broken. It doesn't like, it's not like game changing, right, at this state of the game, right, compared with all the other war bonds, but it is a good starting point, right? It's a really good starting point. All right, moving on. The next one, the very first war bond, the paid war bond that was released, Steeled Veterans, right? So a couple of war bonds back, this would have been at one point S tier, but then it's dropped, right, with the nerfs to the breaker shotgun, right? Because it has the fire variant of the breaker shotgun, which is the breaker incendiary, and this was quite good in bug missions. It would be nice in Illuminati missions to do crowd control with the hordes of votless, with the zombies, right? So without the nerves, without the ammo nerves and the damage nerves that it got, it did get a buff. It got a fire buff, right, with the tick damage. This was broken. This shotgun was quite broken at one point. But then, yeah, they kind of like with nerves, this kind of like became, okay, right? Each of the armors, the medium, light, and heavy armor, all gives you a throwing distance, servo assisted. So you can see the mechanical arm, it gives you a throwing range, which is quite nice, but not really useful. The P4 Senator is a heavy pistol. It has heavy armor penetrating, right? One-handed, 6 shots around. It's very slow to reload, but this does quite a bit of damage, right? It's good for like you could take out like flying airships, right? Not the big transport ships of bots, but heavy airships, the gunships, right? You can take them out with a pistol if you shoot the engines. So it's a good pistol to have, in certain situations. But the reloading just kind of like makes it meh, right? Kind of like annoying at times. So I would say, and it has the jar dominator as well because it is an explosive medium armor penetrating shotgun. So it makes sense in certain bot missions. It gives you range and kind of like is able to take out those annoying armored striders, stuff like that. So quite good in bots, so in a lot of like bot scenarios, right? So this I would say is at this point it's all right. It's got some useful weaponry, right? It's got coverage, right? You can use the break incendiary for bug missions. You could use the jar dominator for bot missions. uh if you're feeling up for it, you can use the liberator concussive. It's a bonus. The P4 Senator gives you some additional options for your secondary, right, to do some damage. And the armor's also not so bad, right? It means you can throw you can throw like airstrikes from quite a distance, so you don't need to be too close sometimes. So it gives you some options. So it's all right, right? It covers like all 3 enemy types as well. So, and the flexible reinforcement budget is also decent, right? It reduces the reinforcement budget time. So it's okay. It's all right? It's all right. It's not broken. It doesn't like make you super OP or anything, but it works. All right. Next we have is Cutting Edge. I can't remember if Cutting Edge was the second premium Warbond to be released right after Steel Veterans, but yeah. So this one has the last 16 sickle, which was an awesome weapon when it first came out, right? Until it got the nerfs to the ammo capsule and the heat rate, until it got nerfs there. So this became a quite useless weapon. The localization confusion is a nice booster, but with all the recent buffs to weapons you have, it doesn't really matter if you run into too many enemies or not. So it's all right. The EX03 prototype. Now this is an interesting one, right? All 3 armors gives you resistance to arc damage, right? 95% resistance to arc damage, which means there was a strat we could use for a while, where because it gives you access to the Arc 12 Blitzer, which is an arc thrower shotgun variant, so as to speak. So with the arc thrower, the Arc 12 Blister, you could line up in your shot and not take damage, but you could act as a jump point for the arc to reach for the enemy. So you could safely stay in front of you, in front of the guy using the arc thrower or the arc blitzer. Now this was a good strat until they made a small change where the damage negation is still there, but you no longer it knocks you down now. Right, before it was fine because it'll just go through you. All right, you'll still be on your merry way, but now it just knocks you down, which becomes a little bit annoying because each time you use it and your buddy's there but wearing this armor, nothing happens to him, but he just gets knocked down. So they kind of like made the strat where you could use your buddy to kind of like jump the arc to hit enemies further away, kind of like redundant, right? The last 7 dagger is not really that good, and yeah, so I would not really there's nothing exactly too fun about it because you don't really need the blitzer to do your arc damage. The arc throw is more than enough, and that stratagem is already available. So I would say at this point, with the nerves to the laser sickle especially, this is shit. But then again, this is my personal preference, right? Different people can feel different about it. I've still seen people use the sickles, right? It is still fun to use, but it was fun, right? Now it just heats up too fast. And it just has only four heat sinks, megs, whatever you call them. So it just has four of them now rather than compared to six. So you quickly run out of them. So yeah, it's not for me, right? Moving on, the Urban Legends Warbond. Now this was the last Warbond to come out, right? And this one, let's see, this one is quite nice, right? This one is quite good because it gives you the stratagem for the anti-tank placement, right? It's kind of like the heavy HMG placement that you can put, but it's an anti-tank weapon, right? This is quite useful in a lot of missions, where especially a lot of defense missions. So this is quite nice. It gives you a couple of nice looking skins, right? All urban pattern camo skins. uh the stun lance is surprisingly OP, right? You can just quick kill big enemies. The flamethrower turret is good, but it can cause quite a few accidents, especially if you put it as a defensive position and you guys are around it, and enemies kind of like swarming you from all sides. So the arm resupply pods is surprisingly useful because it turns your resupply pod into a turret. Now that works in quite a few scenarios, right? In a really tight situation where you don't have any turrets or anything to call, or any airstrikes to kind of like help you do some suppressing fire on the enemy, you can just call a resupply pod at this point and set it as a defensive position. So it works. Just make sure it does have the tendency, like it does have its own issues with just like any other turret, that it could accidentally kill you at times. So yeah. So because of that, I would say the Urban Legends is it's right. It has some useful stuff in there. But is it game breaking, game changing? I don't know. I still think, yeah, you can just make things work with the the free stuff you get, right? You get the HMG turrets, the normal turrets, the autocannon turrets. They still work, right? There's just some nice, fun stuff to use, but nothing too game changing or brain breaking. Moving on. The Truth Enforcers Warbond. Now, this is an interesting one. This one came before the Urban Legends one, and I have to tell you, this has by far the best all-round submachine gun, the Reprimand. This is a medium armor penetrating submachine gun. It has a decent fire rate, decent ammo capacity, and the fact that it's medium armor penetrating means that you can use it on a wide range of bots, you can use it on a wide range of bugs, and you can use it in a wide range of Illuminati missions as well. So this is a decent all-round weapon. You can use it for all three enemy variants. It's quite nice. The shotgun works as well. In case you're looking for a good shotgun, this shotgun works as well. It has two. It has two firing rounds. You could fire the slug rounds or the armor penetrating rounds. So it has medium armor penetrating and light armor penetrating. So you get a shotgun with it as well. You get a dead sprint booster, which is not really that useful. It's got some good. It's got some good looking armor. The passive, not so much. It just prevents flinching. So um, yeah, it's just that it's able to negate your stagger, right? But it does have some good looking armor patterns and camo. So I mean, because of that, I would say this is also, it's not game breaking or game changing, right? So I would say this is also a, I would say Urban Legends is all right, because no, I'll just keep it there. It's fine. I'll put Truth Enforcers over Urban Legends. All right, moving on. Chemical Agents. Now, um, this might be an very unpopular opinion, right? But I am not a fan of gas builds. I've tried it a few times, right? And I don't know. I think it's just. I think I'm more like an explosive guy, right? I think it's bit of a. I think it's a bit of a thing like that. I'm more of a destruction explosive guy rather than poof gas. Do like damage over time to enemies, make them confused, attack each other, use stuff like that. So this has like a grenade for gas. It has a stim pistol, which was fun to use, but not really that useful, right? You get a bunch load of stims, but if in a situation like it's very difficult to like think, oh shit, I need to act as a healer, get behind my pals and just start healing them. You could do it, but it was fun to use, but not many people use it now. You get access to a gas rover, but I still think the laser rover is still better, and the liberator rover is more decent than this because they have more range. This the gas one doesn't have there's less range. So the gas, the sterilizer, right, which is kind of like a gas flamethrower, it's also like all right. I'm not like a big fan of gas builds, right? So um, yeah. So because of that, I think you could do better with the gassed airstrikes rather than any of these armors. So because of that, I feel like Chemical Agents um I think it's is it shit. Yeah, I mean, like if you think Cutting Edge is shit, then Chemical Agents has to be shit. Yeah, I'll put Cutting Edge like fun, but not really. But in my personal opinion, I'm not much like gas build guy. Like, yeah, it's a bit shit. Yeah. Then again, right? I'll keep repeating. This is just how I feel depending on the way I play, right? It's based on my playstyle. Some of you guys might even have this S tier, right? But if this is S tier, if gas is S tier, it'll only be because of the orbital gas strikes and things like that, not because of any of not because of anything inside this Warbond, right? So gas is good, but not the stuff in this Warbond. I can't believe I just said that gas is. All right, moving on. Freedom's Flame. Oof. Oh my goodness. This gives you access to one of the best shotguns ever. The SG451 Cookout. By far the best shotgun in the game. This has damage, stagger, the best crowd control. You could take out even the flying bugs. You know, you could crowd control all the flying shriekers easily. Not so good against bots, not really that good against bots, but this is like a beast against bugs, a beast against Illuminati as well. It's quite good. This shotgun alone, is what made this battle pass good. Just the shotgun, nothing else. The crisper, no. The emote, the chest bump emote, the thorax collision exaltation maneuver, that was good. Firebomb health pods was fun, but not really that useful. But this shotgun carried. This shotgun carried this Warbond. It was the sole reason for buying it. The shotgun was amazing. All right, all because of the shotgun. All because of the shotgun. The Freedom Flame is an A tier. It's not broken. It doesn't break the game. Still, we have nothing that is democracy approved. I think I might need to rethink this, but I think Helldivers Mobilize is democracy approved, right? Because it gives you access to everything. I don't know why did I do that? Yeah, this should be access. This gives you everything, right? It gives you coverage for everything, and it is free. So this democracy approved, of course. Not because of game breaking, but because from a financial standpoint, it just you could play the game and have fun, right? All right, moving on. Viper Commandos. Viper Commandos has good looking armor and camo. Their passives does not mean much. It gives you a melee boost. increased melee damage. The passives for the armor. So not, but the armor is very good looking, and that is about it. Nothing else is awesome. The knife throwable is shit. Experimental infusion. I think this is the. Uh, oh, I completely forgot. Experimental infusion. Stim boost. This is the only thing that's good about this Warbond. This is the only thing. The only thing. Is it really useful? No, but this thing can come clutch in so many situations. It gives you like increased movement speed, damage reduction, restore health, stims temporarily, like increase health restoration, and you become unstoppable over time. So you can quickly get out of a tight situation. You can just sprint out of there. This has saved me in so many situations. So just the experiment, just like the shotgun for the previous one, the cookout. This is the only thing that makes this Warbond worth it. So because of that, otherwise I would have said the Viper Commandos is shit at this point. At this point, so because of that, Viper Commandos is, it's all right. It's all right. I would say prioritize the shotgun in this over the booster in this, because a lot of times someone might bring it, someone else can bring it to the squad, right? So you really don't need to have it. Someone else could bring it if they have it, right? So if you don't have that booster, it's fine. Someone else could bring it, and you'll be fine. Moving on, Polar Patriots. I can't even remember what this Warbond was. What did it give you? Oh, okay, now I remember. Motivational shocks. This is the one that prevents you from getting affected by EMS strikes, right? Yes. Tenderizer. It's an okay assault rifle, but not enough damage. I mean, sorry, not too much ammo capacity in my opinion to make it like truly amazing. It's got a decent SMG. The SMG Pamela was good. I think this was the best SMG for a while, or maybe it was another one until the reprimand came in the Truth Enforcers. Other than that, body armor, fortified, 50% resist to explosive. No, no. The purifier. I've seen. Oh, the P113 verdict. Now I remember. This is kind of like the Senator, but it's a medium armor penetrating one. And this is also very good to have as a secondary. It gives you the ability to kind of like do some heavy secondary weapon damage if you run out of. It's a good secondary to have. I found this useful in bot missions and in Illuminati missions. Not so much for bug missions, but yeah. So I would say this is, you don't really need the pistol to make things work, so it's fun, but I would put it there. And that leaves us with Democratic Detonation. Ooh. 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 Yes. 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 Oof. This Democratic Detonation, at first, at initial launch, it was really good because of the grenade pistol. Because this made bug missions so much better. You could, rather than having to get a grenade launcher to close bug holes, so instead of wasting a slot for a for a for a for a weapon stratagem, you could use the grenade pistol, and this just made closing bug holes so much easy. You could use this for bot missions as well. The exploding crossbow also does that. You could use this for Illuminati missions, for hitting the warships, for hitting the entrance. This works for all three. The armor passive is not super important, but there are some good-looking armors. Can't complain about that. Expert extraction compiler. This reduces the time for extraction. Good if you're in a pinch. The eruptor, the explosive sniper rifle, is also quite good. They buffed the damage and the explosion shrapnel range, so it does a lot more now. The thermite was useless for the beginning portion, but then they had increased the damage and made it an anti-tank weapon. So this could take out Hulk busters. It can one-shot Hulk busters now. It can one-shot chargers. It can one shot the I think if you it can one shot the harvesters without the shield. Yeah, this can do all that. So thermite is good, eruptor is also good, grenade pistol is amazing, exploding crossbow is also, this does a lot, right? This does a lot. This Warbond gives you so much, so much. So because of that, I would say democratic detonation is democracy approved. So there you guys have it, my Warbond tier list. So if you are to prioritize, you know, Warbonds, I feel like this is good, right? You anyway get Helldivers mobilized from the get go, democratic detonation, and then you're pretty much covered for a while. And then once you're on a little bit more, you can do Truth Enforcer, which gives you access to the best SMG, Urban Legends for the anti tank. I would put Freedom's Flame over Urban Legends because I would prioritize the Cookout Shotgun over anything in Urban Legends. Other than that, yeah. I mean, listen, this is how I feel, right? This is given my play style. This could be different. It's all right to disagree, right? So yeah, I mean, like, let me know what you guys think about what are your favorite war bonds. What do you feel, gives you guys the edge in any of the Helldiver missions? Uh, by all means, feel free to disagree or agree. It's all right. Uh, Everything differs on person to person depending on your playstyle. I've said that multiple times. So yeah, so there you guys have it. This is my Warbond tier list for Helldivers 2. Hopefully this is useful to some people. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video. Till next time then, bye bye.